That's right. Joining me now, Governor Martin O'Malley, Democratic governor from Maryland. Thank you so much, Governor O'Malley, for being here with us. I want to start out today with the big headlines coming out of Washington, D.C. I know you're watching this very carefully.
Absolutely.
You said you had some concerns about what a default would mean for the state of Maryland's credit rating.
Sure, it would have big ramifications. You know, we're all in this together. There's no state that can separate itself away from the results of the federal government needlessly being plunged into default by some of the intransigence that's going on in Washington. So we need a balanced approach and a reasonable approach. I mean, our state is one of 8 that has a AAA bond rating. The good news is we've done the right things. We've made tough decisions as a people to protect that bond rating. But if the federal government were to be plunged into a default, then all bets are off. We're about to go out with a bond issue, and there's no telling what sort of ramifications that will have, the way it might increase the amount we have to pay when we're building our schools and our roads, the increase that it will cause every consumer to pay on their consumer credit, and the incalculable damage it will do to this jobs recovery. We need to be about the jobs recovery. And I hope that the president succeeds in wrestling a reasonable approach here.
Now, part of the president's plan, though, would include cuts to Medicaid. Are you prepared to swallow those cuts as a state?
Well, it all depends. I think there are cuts that can be made, especially when it comes to savings, that can result from better managing the citizens that are dually eligible for both Medicare and Medicaid. If we align the incentives in a way, we can actually save $100 billion over the next 10 years, which is the president's target. And that's what the Democratic governors are pushing. But make no mistake about it. Look, there's a very fragile jobs recovery that is happening in our country. And that jobs recovery can be wrecked in 2 ways. One is by needlessly plunging us into a default. The second way is with massive public sector cuts that result in huge public sector layoffs of teachers, fire, and police.
So what are you doing to create jobs in Maryland?
Well, we're doing a number of things. Number one, we are protecting our investments in education. We are investing in, we created a program called Invest Maryland that takes public dollars and matches that with venture capital for the startups. You know, our state was named by U.S. Chamber of Commerce as one of the top 2 most entrepreneur and innovation-friendly states in America. We have great ideas that come out of our labs. We need to get them into the marketplace. We enacted last year a new hiring tax credit. We also extended our research and development tax credit. We need to remake our economy. It's not going to happen by itself. It's going to happen by making the modern investments that a modern economy requires to create jobs. And that's the balanced approach I think the president's pushing as well.
We only have a little bit of time left here, but I do want to ask you about pension funds. What are you doing to kind of shore up that situation?
Well, we had to bring our union leaders to the table, our public employees to the table, and we asked everybody to do more. The state had to do more. We had to ask our public employees to do more. But what we did not do was what so many Republican governors are doing, which is to overreach, to try to destroy the unions. Our goal was to preserve the pension system and make it sustainable. We succeeded in doing that, and because we acknowledge that we're all in this together, and we got to come through this together.
Governor O'Malley, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here
Megan.
with us.